Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for February 27, 2024, few municipalities undecided as the parties share spoils. Official count starts today. It appears that the ruling Jamaica Labour Party is on target to win the 2024 local government elections, even though the results from the Electoral Office of Jamaica were inconclusive up to early this morning. Prime Minister Andrew Holness late last night said that the JLP won the local government elections without a question. The Jamaica Labour Party owns 7 municipal corporations, which is the majority of the municipalities, he emphasized. At the same time, however, opposition leader Mark Golding, the president of the People's National Party, trumpeted that his party had secured the most divisions in the elections. This is a victory for the people of Jamaica, those who are tired of having poor road conditions, having to wait for a bed at the hospitals, and for those who cannot get their garbage collected, Golding said as he addressed a massive crowd of supporters inside the party's headquarters and out on Old Hope Road in St. Andrew. Golding dedicated the PNP's showing to former Prime Ministers Michael Manley, P.J. Patterson, Portia Simpson-Miller, as well as a former PNP President Dr. Peter Phillips. The preliminary voter turnout was at 29.6% of the electorate, which is marginally lower than the 30.06% turnout in the 2016 local polls 8 years ago. Up to news time last night, the results from the EOJ showed the JLP leading in 7 of the 14 municipal corporations, with the preliminary results showing the PNP ahead in 4 municipalities. Following last night's preliminary count, the EOJ will carry out its final count to determine the results of the polls. The PNP and the JLP are tied with 20 divisions each in the race to control the Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. It appears that the PNP is on target to win the popular vote in the KSAMC, as they were leading up to news time. If the PNP wins the popular vote, it would take control of the KSAMC. The tussle for the KSAMC featured significant battles for the Papine and the Trafalgar divisions, with both incumbents being political turncoats having switched allegiance to the JLP. Venetia Phillips, the turncoat politician who crossed over to the JLP, suffered a defeat to the PNP's Darrington Ferguson. Phillips lost the race by 259 votes as Ferguson secured 2,113 votes. In 2016, Phillips won that division with 2,208 votes to 1,931 from the JLP's George Planto. In yesterday's polls, Planto secured 61 votes as an independent candidate. Jesse Clark of the PNP unseated Carrie Douglas, a former PNP councillor who crossed the floor at the KSAMC to represent the JLP. Clark represents the Trafalgar division at the KSAMC. The PNP won the race for the mayoral seat in the Portmore Municipal Corporation. Incumbent Leon Thomas sprinted clear of political neophyte Mark Land Edwards. In St. Thomas, the 10 divisions appeared split between the JLP and the PNP, with 5 divisions each. This means that the popular vote will again determine who is selected as the next mayor. The JLP was projected to win in Seaforth, Trinityville, Yalas, and the Cedar Valley in St. Thomas Western. The PNP won in White Horses, while there was a tie in Landui. In St. Andrew East, the PNP was projected to win 3 of the 4 divisions. Meanwhile, a chairperson of Citizens Action for Free and Fair Elections, Grace Baston, told the news that 35% of the group's observers were barred by EOJ officials from viewing the counting of votes. So far of the reports that have come in, 35% of volunteers were put out of the polling stations at the time of the count, the officials saying their understanding is that they are not to be there, Baston said. Describing the action of EOJ officials as unacceptable, the cafe chairman argued that in the case of a close election, it is important to have the impartial observer body there, saying we were there. We witnessed the count, we witnessed the voting at the polling stations, and everything was fair and transparent. When quizzed about the actions of the EOJ, Director of Elections Glasspool Brown said the cafe and the Electoral Commission have enjoyed a good relationship over the years. Cafe was a little more proactive this time. we need to sit down with Cafe again, looking at the relationship going forward. He admitted that there were issues in relation to Cafe observers going into the polling stations beyond a certain time. Brown said the EOJ wants Cafe to be part of the election process, noting that the electoral body will review what transpired with a view to addressing the concerns going forward. It feels good to vote. Dalverine Bruce felt good just being around to vote in yesterday's local government elections in St. Thomas. 2 weeks ago, Bruce, who is a supporter of the governing Jamaica Labour Party, lost her left leg in a gruesome accident while campaigning on nomination day. However, with the help of a wheelchair, her daughter and the other family members, she got the chance to exercise her constitutional right. "I want to vote to see a better Jamaica. Me feel good," she said in an interview with the news on Monday. She was unable to take her position as an election worker for the JLP. Yesterday, she said the accident and the life-changing injury have done little to dampen her spirit. "The only change in my life is that me no have no foot, but nothing else no change, cause me have life," Bruce said. "Me still have life and I can still help myself. Me just want to get well and I'm back on my feet again." Her right foot, which was also badly injured in the crash, was heavily bandaged. Bruce remembered everything leading up to and after the crash along the main road in Whitehorses, St. Thomas. She recounted sitting in the back of a trailer traveling towards Morant Bay when it swerved towards the sidewalk to avoid a collision with an oncoming motor car. According to Bruce, the rails of the trailer got entangled with the shrubs on the side of the roadway, causing all of the rocks them to start come down. "When me realize and fling this right foot to turn my whole body, my left foot already gone," she recounted. "Me not lie, me no feel when it come off. Me talk it every day and people no believe me." She recalled her shouting, "My foot gone," and watching as others around her run off. "Mother run too and you know why," frightened she said. However, she said others came back to assist her getting to the hospital. Bruce admitted that being on the motorcade was not a part of her plans when she left home on nominations day. "I went and the excitement sound good, so through the excitement sound good, me gone with them," she said, making clear that she does not blame anyone. Bruce said she is getting good support from the JLP, adding that Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the St. Thomas Western Member of Parliament, James Robertson, have promised to provide assistance. Driver shot dead in Linstead. A man was shot dead along the New Works main road in Linstead, St. Catherine on Monday morning. The deceased has been identified as 55-year-old Renford Paisley, a driver from Main Street in Bogwalk, St. Catherine. Reports are that around 9:30 a.m., residents of the New Works housing scheme heard loud explosions in the area and summoned the cops. Lawmen arrived at the scene and reportedly found Paisley's body lying beside a grey Toyota Probox near the New Works Pine Farm, suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds. He was assisted to the Linstead Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. No motive has been established for the killing, the police said. Security forces prevent a flare-up during Marvelly standoff. The police and the military had to be called into Marvelly St. Andrew on Monday to prevent a standoff from escalating between supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party outside a polling station during the local government elections in the Huenden division. A man wearing an orange t-shirt, the color associated with the PNP, was heard appealing to members of the police force and the military to come quickly to quell a situation that was shaping up to become confrontational at a polling station at a Marvelly Primary and a junior high school. "You guys need to come on the outside like right now. The JLP supporters just arrived and there is going to be problems. As they came, they started videotaping the PNP supporters and push intimidation. Maybe when they see you, you could create a buffer," the man told the members of the security forces. The soldiers and the police quickly positioned themselves strategically to create a buffer outside the polling station between the supporters of the two political parties. From as early as 7 a.m. when the polls opened until it closed at 5 p.m., the number of people wearing orange-colored shirts and who streamed in and out of the polling station at the school in Marvelly far outnumbered the people wearing green shirts, the color associated with the JLP. One woman remarked that most of them people there in green not even come from Marvelly. They have no vote. An incident which occurred prior to her speaking to the news seemed to almost corroborate what the woman claimed. The news had witnessed a stream of both men and women dressed in green clothing march onto the primary school compound where the polling station was located. However, the police rounded up the majority of the members from that group and ushered them off the compound because only one handful of them came to vote. Activities at and around the other polling stations within the Hughenden division did not buzz with the same excitement as seen in Marvelly as people voted quietly. At Marvelly Gospel Hall on Malines Road, another polling station in the division, 2 female residents of Hughenden each held up an index finger covered in ink as a proof they had voted. One of the women said it was time for a change in leadership, although she was shy in categorically stating who she was supporting. "We want a change. The road and water are my issues in Hughenden. Sometimes I have no water. There are some very big potholes in the roads," she said. The other woman said she did not have an issue with water, however she said the roads were deplorable. At Pembroke Hall High School in the division, voting activities went smoothly. Such was also the case at the Pembroke Hall Community Center.